Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Monday, April 17th, 2017, in the evening time of the United States of America. The news headline was, "A military drill went wrong. A Blackhawk helicopter crashed in Maryland on a golf course. One person passed away." What I'm going to show you in this video is how this news story is a ritual and it is a tribute to the number of the beast, 666, taught about in Revelation, the final book of the Bible. If you're not aware of the number 666, the number of the beast, stay tuned. In just 2 minutes, you're going to know something that will empower the rest of your life. That verse about 666 is about having wisdom. So this news came April 17th. In most parts of the world, that date's written 17/4. 17/4, a lot like 174. In the language of gematria, which is very relevant to the Bible, the practice of coding numbers into words, number of the beast equals 174. And on this date, a story of a helicopter crash. Helicopter has gematria of 666. I'm going to show you how this story has a lot to do with Donald Trump, who had his convention in Cleveland, home of the 216 area code. 666 is a backhanded way of getting to 216. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. There's a film called Pi, which introduces gematria, what I'm teaching you about, and how it's associated with Kabbalah. And Kabbalah, the number 216 represents God. Number of the beast, 666, associated with Kabbalah's God, 216. I'm even going to show you how this connects to Patrick Kane, who plays for the Chicago Blackhawks. This happened 216 days before his upcoming birthday. As crazy as that might sound, it's all going to make sense in just moments. But first, let's talk about the Bible verse with the number of the beast in 666. Revelation 13:18, the 66th book of most Bibles, that concludes most Bibles. This is from the King James Version, very Masonic version. King James was a Rosicrucian. Rosicrucians at the beginning of the 1600s, heavy influence on modern Freemasonry. Anyhow, King James Bible, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Score means 20, so 3 is 3 times 20, so 666. This is where the number 666 comes from. We're going to start with "here is wisdom." Here is wisdom has gematria of 66. Revelation's the 66th book of the Bible. Number of the beast in this same format, gematria of 66. Also 174 like April 17th. This is teaching you how to calculate 666, the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. Man is made from carbon, and according to science, carbon is made out of 6 neutrons, 6 protons, 6 electrons. 666. A lot of people think carbon is what 666 is truly all about. And if that's so, imagine what that tells us about the time of the people who wrote the Bible. That tells us they were pretty advanced. You know, we're living in this age where history has been changed, rewritten, rearranged to mislead us. Anyhow, we're going to go back to "here is wisdom." There's something I want to show you about that. Here is wisdom. Notice the gematria of 147. This is a number that's very relevant to Freemasonry. Freemason has the gematria of 147, like conspiracy. Washington, D.C., where the White House is named after the 33rd degree Freemason George Washington. The White House has 147 windows. And check this out. President of the United States has gematria of 147. President of the United States, 147, 147 windows at the White House. There's a whole lot more to this number, but just notice it's coded into "here is wisdom." Because here's the next piece. This part, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. It has gematria of 223. Very special number to Freemasonry and the Synagogue of Satan. Masonic has gematria of 223. This number coded into so many Masonic rituals throughout history. In Revelation, it says the false Jews will rule in the end times, and their name is the Synagogue of Satan, which has gematria of 223. Freemasonry, based in Jewish history, the Old Testament. Revelation, based on the Old Testament, the 39 books of the Old Testament, which the Jewish faith goes by. The reason Friday the 13th is up there is because I'm writing about the death of Tim Russert. Tim Russert asked George W. Bush and John Kerry about the number 322 in relation to Skull and Bones, because both of them were in Yale's Skull and Bones, the elite fraternity that only has 15 new members each year. These two men who were running for president were both part of this small exclusive club. He asked them about 322. He ended up dying not long after by very ritualistic numbers, supposedly passing away at 223. And 223, 322, they're reflections of each other. Again, they say the Bible was first published March 22nd, 1457. The Gutenberg Bibles. This year they reopened the tomb of Jesus on March 22nd. Most of the world writes that date 22/3, but here in the U.S. we write it 322. Check this out. Abrahamic religions, gematria of 322. That's Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Also, ancient mystery religions, which is what occult esoteric knowledge is based in, also 322. And this occult esoteric knowledge has a lot to do with numbers, like numerology and gematria, which is coded all over the Bible. So, and I mean, don't overlook the 119 either. You know, we talk about this number all the time. All-seeing eye, Star of David, master plan. Look, King James Bible was written by Francis Bacon, a Rosicrucian. King James Bible 119, a Rosicrucian. And what the Rosicrucians were the merging of Christianity with the mystery religions, the magical, occult knowledge of the world. The Rosicrucians, and look at this. Rosicrucian means rose cross, gematria 58, just like Rosicrucian, when spelled correctly, has gematria 58. Just like Freemasonry, just like secret society. We're going to talk more about 58 in regards to this news story with the helicopter. Again, Donald Trump just won the 58th presidential election. This news story yesterday, 58 days from his birthday. But anyhow, I'm just trying to get you to see the relevance of what I'm teaching because, you know, I'm finishing a book. I want to get it out, but I want to make sure it's well received. I don't want to print a bunch of copies and no one buy it because they think this knowledge is junk or worthless. This knowledge is some of the most valuable stuff you could have just because it's being used every day in this world to scare us, to intimidate us, to confuse us, to turn us against ourselves, our neighbors. Something real is going on here, and people need to wake up. So anyhow, you know, we're talking about Revelation 13, the number of the beast, the coding in the words, the fingerprints of who is responsible. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, 223. The first verse of the Bible, gematria 223. Genesis 322. And the New International Version and the King James Version, both versions, the verse sums to 322. Genesis 322 about man knowing good and evil. The full title of the book of Revelation, which I should have had up here, in addition to the Synagogue of Satan. All right, here we go. St. John the Divine, also a 223. What Revelation is. St. John the Divine's vision. You know, the destruction of the earth before the return of Jesus Christ. And again, Revelation, where 666, the number of the beast, is taught about. So let's go over this news from yesterday and all that was fascinating about it. It was a date with 58 numerology, and it had major parallels to Donald Trump. It was also a date with 38 numerology, a number connected to death and killing. They said one person died. The gematria of the helicopter also matches the date, 38. From today to Donald Trump's birthday, which is also the flag's birthday, the U.S. flag established June 14th, 1777. That's 58 days from the date of this helicopter crash, the number of the beast. As a reminder, in Revelation, the warnings are the trumpets. And I want to show you something about trumpets in regards to the White House. At the White House, there's 132 rooms to go with those 147 windows. United States of America has gematria of 132. In Revelation, the trumpets are the warnings. Think about who's in the White House. The Trump-Pence ticket, and Donald Trump is the 45th president. Holy Bible, gematria 45, forwards and backwards. Look at Mike Pence, forwards, backwards, 45. If you missed my video on the New World Order and Mike Pence going over to the DMZ in South Korea, check that out. The name of the camp had 45 gematria. We're living out a script, a planned, man-made prophecy. So also, the golf course where this happened at, Breton Bay Golf Course, 223. Again, you know, we just talked about 223 in regards to Revelation. The verse about who has wisdom. This number connecting to Masonic. This wreck, it came 88 days from Inauguration Day for Trump. 88 days later, the crashing of this Blackhawk helicopter at Breton Bay Golf Course, which also has gematria of 88, like helicopter crash. It crashed in Maryland at this golf course, not far from the White House. Remember, the White House surrounded by Maryland and Virginia, the Virgin Mary. That territory used to be the Catholic colony. Christopher Columbus, paid for by the Catholic Church to discover the Americas where people already lived, the way we're taught, nonsensically, believed that Christopher Columbus discovered the Americas and killing everybody here was fine and dandy. You know, we're taught to think that. It was manifest destiny. But this is our history. It's all nonsensical. Christopher Columbus discovered a place, you know, people already lived. Jonah lived inside a whale. We're told to believe a lot of things that don't make any sense. I call this nation the beast system, you know? And here we're talking about how to calculate the number of the beast. So anyway, Maryland 88 like Trump, the Republican Party 88, George Washington 88 days again from Inauguration Day. Remember this story? Trump earns 88 retired generals endorsement for president. Maryland also has gematria of Trump like president, like White House, like authority, like government. You know, fitting place for this staged story. NHL has gematria of 47, and we're going to transition to that in a moment too, because this has a lot to do with the Chicago Blackhawks, who won a lot when Barack Obama was president. The man with the Chicago connections. So anyway, I covered all this in a video I put out yesterday, but I completely overlooked the whole number of the beast part. So here's Patrick Kane, who's in the NHL playoffs right now. The NHL playoffs, wearing number 88 for the Blackhawks. And I thought, you know, is there some parallel here? Is there some riddle here? We see the news always intertwined with sports. Well, sure enough, there was. Again, we covered all the 88. 88 days from Trump. Patrick Kane, his name also has gematria of 188. Like Bavarian Illuminati, established May 1st, 1776. His full name, gematria matching National Hockey League. Fitting for a Manchurian, one of the bigger stars of the league. Won a lot of Stanley Cups, I think more than anyone in the last decade, if I'm not mistaken. But anyhow, his birthday, Patrick Timothy Kane. He's also born in 88, this man. Not only does he wear 88, he was born in 88. Check this out. His date of birth, date with 137 numerology. And here's why that's awesome. Chicago Blackhawks, who he plays for, have gematria of 137. So does the phrase Blackhawk Helicopter crash. 137, 137, the 33rd prime. Washington, D.C. equals 137. Authority 137. Again, Obama was winning a lot, or the Blackhawks were winning a lot while Obama was the president. You know what I mean? Patrick Kane also has this tied to Chicago through 46, the year Donald Trump was born. Notice, even in gematria, Chicago Blackhawks is 322, just like Breton Bay Golf Course is 223. And we talked about this in regards to the Bible. And from his last birthday, November 19th, 2016, to this happening, 149 days. Revelation equals 149. What do you think, Truth Seeker? Does it seem like a coincidence? I certainly hope not. Please, take the time to study this knowledge. Use the description. I always link the calculator. It's easy to do this. You can copy and paste. If you don't know how to copy and paste, just real quick, I'll just do a quick example on the spot. We'll just see what's going on with CNN's headline at the moment for fun. Facebook murder suspect kills himself. This is what you want to do. You want to highlight whatever you want to copy, and then you want to hit your control. I think it's control if you're on PC. It's command if you're on a Mac. Command and C or control and C together, and you should see your edit flash. You see it's flashing up here? That's me copying what I just highlighted. Then you can come to the calculator, and then Control V. Control V right next to C. Control V will paste what you just copied. Huh. Okay, Truth Seeker, I did not plan that. I did not plan that. You see why I'm saying that, right? The phrase has 666. And I promise you I did not plan that. I did not know that that's what the headline was. But I'm just telling you, that is how relevant this research is. And of course, I'm going to have to do a blog post about this now. If you don't follow my blog, you know this is what I do. I follow the headlines. I just track the evidence. I've been doing it since 2013, praying to God that enough people will catch on so we can put this madness to an end. And you know, you can start a blog just like this. Well, watch how fast we're doing this. In the time you're watching me, you could be doing the exact same thing. It's as simple as what I just showed you. I do have a Mac, and the reason I have a Mac is just because editing is so much quicker. I'll call that guy right back. He always needs to borrow. He always needs to borrow a few dollars from me. I know that's what he wants. I'll call him back, True Seeker. I feel bad not picking up because I know he needs those few dollars too, but he'll get it. Anyway, watch this. It's just as simple as this, you know. On a Mac, you can do Control-Shift-3 or 4, and then I can just cut a part of the screen that I want. And right here, I just want to show that they coded a 666 number of the beast headline right into this story. You know what I mean? Here is wisdom, Truth Seeker. That's the verse. Here is wisdom. And, you know, this is why I'm so passionate about sharing this information. This is why there's no ads on my channel. He's calling me right back. Truth Seeker, we're gonna kick it off right here. I just have to put a title, publish, and be over.